All right, Mr. Suppa, who are you, and what is your background? What did you do in life up until you started your company?
First of all, I'm going to say I was pretty sure you were going to say, "Who is your daddy and what does he do?"
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
He sells appliances.
He actually does. Yeah.
I didn't study for this at all.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared at all to even answer basic questions about me.
Yeah, on the invite.
Yeah.
On the invite text message, I specifically wrote,
I am poorly
You're going to
prepared
be
for this
interviewed.
interview. Yeah, my name's Anthony Suppa. I'm one of the 3 people born and raised in Florida. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I got out of high school and I went into art school for like $1 million. And then I got out of art school because it wasn't going to make me any money. I was just losing money. And then I joined the military.
Which also loses you money.
Yes. Amongst other things. Joined the military. You and I met in basic training. We were together in tech school. We got stationed in Alaska together. Out of Alaska, I deployed to Iraq. Then I moved to Kansas. Out of Kansas, I deployed to Afghanistan. Got out and got my contractor's license, plumbing contractor's license in Florida. Started my plumbing company. About a year in, I begged you to come and work for me, and you did.
begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah, it took a while. He had to wear me down.
Yeah, and then you realized how awesome Florida is.
It is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and yeah. So what is it now? I started Aqua Duck January 1st of 2014. So where are we at? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Do you have that many
years.
fingers?
I actually can't count, so I was just moving my fingers.
I only have 5 on the one hand. I need more fingers. Yeah.
So yeah, 7 years I guess been open now. So, and I barely have like any loans to loan sharks. No, I have 1 million daughters. And I'm married to Erica, who's
Provided these
friend.
$1 million daughters.
Not dollars. She has taken all.
She's
of the
taking
dollars.
all the dollars.
All of them.
He had to give her a dowry.
Dowry.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Her family's from Punta Gorda. You know how those people are.
Hey, I'm just up the road.
So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the sacrifices that you make to start your own company?
Well, she's very giggly. Yeah,
We were supposed to have sacrifices when we started these things. Like a friggin' goat.
Well, he has a rock outside, just blood-stained rock in front of his house. It's weird.
Anyway, we get the blood flow up the walls for the sacrifices.
Yeah, well, you had to sacrifice something, right? You could have went to work for somebody else, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't have any of the BS of having to run your own company.
Yeah, it was actually a little scary because when you're getting out of the military, they kind of give you like a point of no return where you can't re-enlist.
It's called Das Boot.
Das Boot, exactly. That's the technical term.
I remember it was my DD 214.
Yeah. And I committed to getting my contractor's license. So for about a year and a half, for a year, I studied for the contractor portion. I flew down to Florida and I took it and passed it first time, which is actually has a 70% fail rate. And most people take it about 3 times before they pass. And I just didn't want to buy 2 plane tickets or 3 plane tickets. So I just made sure I was ready to pass the test when I went, but I felt pretty confident and I did well. So, and then I studied for about 6 months to do the business and finance portion. And then I was done. And I had everything squared away, and I called the DBPR, Department of Business and Professional Regulation, Contractor Licensing Board.
We're supposed to call them?
You're not.
Oh, good.
Please don't. So at any rate, I was like, hey, I want to get my license now. I have everything here. I forwarded them everything, and they're like, well, it says here that you only work for the military. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you have to work for a private contractor. And I was like, I'm gonna need to talk to your like boss's boss and get this figured out like right now. Well, 2 days later, the guy called me back and he apologized, and he's like, hey, I'm really sorry she said that. The governor, who at the time was Rick Scott, had made it very clear that they were to allow 1-for-1 experience from the military to civilian licenses. Because there's some states, actually most states, you could be an Army medic with multiple tours or a corpsman or something,
like a decade's worth of experience.
Yeah, and
Ain't
you
good
come out trying to
enough.
get your license, and they're like, no, So Florida had made it pretty clear that as long as it was 1-for-1 experience, it was good to go. So I developed an ulcer over those 2 days, and then that guy gave me the good news, and so I got out.
boy.
But for a while there, I was really worried because I said no to the military, so I couldn't re-enlist, and I had no other options. It was just that, so I'd put all my eggs in that one basket. So that was scary. And then when I got out, and I had about 80 days of leave saved up, so I could start the business and just work and still have a paycheck coming in. And when that last paycheck came in, it got real, because I have 4. At the time, I had 3 kids. Now I got 4, but at the time, just the 3. But still, it was to feed 3 kids, and my wife, at the time wasn't working, just an at-home mom, and
Ramen only goes so far.
yeah, ramen only goes so far. So that was a little scary.
I believe it's 1.2 miles. If you stretch the noodles out end to end.
Well, it's only so far.
Seems legit.
It's amazing. Though, that's why I
It's
have
just
2
relative.
bags. One bag is not enough.
Nope.
It's not. So there was that. There's a lot of financial expense in starting the company. A lot of money. I was in the military, so I didn't make a lot. I did a lot of work, like off of Craigslist, doing plumbing work and drain cleaning in Kansas to make enough money to buy my snakes and all my tools and everything.
Could you get a little bit closer to the mic, please?
Sorry. I worked downtown just doing odds and end plumbing jobs and
You don't even
drain cleaning.
want to know what he did downtown.
You don't. Yeah, plumbing's gross.
Times were tough back then. Obama was still in office.
You heard he was using Craigslist. You remember?
Hey, I don't want to hear it, Mr. Craigslist.
Craigslist killers.
It's in your-
Like people with an addiction to social media. Jeannie's on Craigslist app. Anyhow, so I bought all my equipment doing odds and end jobs, and made enough money to get a 98 Dodge 1500 van, and it was the shittiest van that was ever made by human hands. It was just the worst van ever, and it broke down all the time. And I had
It
to
was
make all
so
these
bad
repairs.
that by the time I got to the company, like 6 or 7 months later, it was already gone.
Yeah, yeah. And I bought the van you're still driving, the Ford, and it does really well.
It's a beast.
It is.
Held together with bubble gum and band-aids.
No,
Hopes and
it's
dreams.
duct tape and tie wire.
Well,
Oh,
that
and
too.
some zip ties.
Jamie
Zip ties
Wells
for the mirror. Yeah, that fell victim to a mailbox.
And a damn sturdy mailbox it
Are you
was.
talking about the van out there?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
know-
that's why
and
that
also-
one mirror doesn't close.
Well, you know it has black duct tape on it.
I feel like you're going
Oh.
to tell me something I probably shouldn't hear.
I
The
was
chapel
told
doesn't
to
want me
not
to.
duct tape it. I was told to just zip tie it. And
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
The zip tie didn't work.
Oh, it
because
worked.
in my
Defense.
defense, yeah, I was looking for that word.
That's what I'm here
It's
for.
called Scrabble, but no, but I just came off working 15-hour shift, drove all the way home from Tampa.
At McDonald's.
All right, I ate McDonald's on the way home.
Feeling rough.
So no, excuse me, but no, I just remember running up that driveway, and my shoulder just obliterated that. and the thing of it was
like a
I just
clothesline
knocked it
football
clean
player.
off.
I just kept going because I knew I did have to use the bathroom. And then after the fact, I came out and I was like, oh, I saw the damage. I'm like, that can be a quick fix. Gorilla duct tape.
Yeah.
And that was what, two years ago?
Something like that.
So
Holding strong.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay. What all does Aqua Duck Plumbing do? What kind of plumbing do you guys do?
Nothing.
What do you make me do all day?
What do I make my minions do? Well, we mostly do service call and remodel, I'd say. Service call is like you got a leaky faucet or a toilet that's running. We come out and repair them or replace them. Remodel is typically going to be kitchens, baths, and outdoor kitchens. And the occasional addition we'll do. Don't do a lot of. We don't do any new construction.
Lies.
Well, that's true. We just started one. That's right. Yeah. Well, but it wasn't us from the beginning.
It's a terrible
It is.
job.
I will not name names or anything. So, but
I will in the ending credits.
don't you dare. But,
Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to dox people.
yeah.
I think that's wrong.
Not my company.
Thanks. So
Yeah, you're coming up in 2 interviews.
I'll be passed
So
out
you'll
by
get your
then.
turn in the seat.
I'll be quick. I'm just like hammering a nail.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all right.
You were saying that you don't normally do new construction.
correct. Yeah, we've only done like 1 or 2, and even this one we're on is like half of it. It's not the whole thing. So we picked up where another plumber, I guess, disappeared. So anyhow,
He's under the house
he
now.
probably. So
He's in the footer.
we also do a little bit of natural gas, and propane, not much. And then we do backflow certification, sewer jetting, cleaning, cameraing. That's about it. All the gross stuff you think about: water heaters, garbage disposals, and all that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. And what's your service area? I mean, we're all located in Florida. in
Yeah,
the Sarasota area.
Yeah, we're Sarasota County. We mostly just do Sarasota County. We typically draw the line furthest south is Toledo
Charlotte
Bay.
County.
Well, we stretch out occasionally into Port Charlotte. and
Yeah, I've
right
been in
into-
Punta Gorda a couple of times.
but every once in a while.
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly, but typically, it's going to be Toledo Blade to University in Sarasota. University is the northernmost exit on 75, and then we go maybe east of 75, 10, 15 miles. Typically, that's about it, and then over to the water, and that's our area.
Oh, all right. Well, that's I don't know the square mileage of that area, but it seems pretty big.
It's decent.
I know in a normal day, I can go 120 miles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you wind up in this area?
Oh, I grew up here primarily. I was born in Boca Raton on the east coast of Florida, and
Boo.
yeah, and then it is beautiful over there. It's just a little busier. My parents split up when I was 2, I think, and my mom moved back over to Sarasota, Venice area. So I grew up in Venice, and I went to high school for 2 years in Sarasota, and then my last 2 years of high school, I moved to West Palm to live with my dad. Graduated over there, and then I moved back to Sarasota. I love Sarasota. I think it's the right size, and there's enough small towns within the county that you could kind of modulate how you want to live, depending.
So when you say Sarasota, you kind of mean the county,
county,
not
yeah.
just the area, not so much Sarasota City itself.
There's a lot going on in Sarasota. I mean, we have Siesta Key is like internationally known. It's won
7.
I think it's like 20 years of worth of winning
That's
the most
way
beautiful
off.
beach in the United States, and that means like that's including California, Hawaii, Guam stuff. It beats them out. So
Well, yeah, it beats California. There's just needles all over the place out there.
You got to walk on those streets that are just filled with poo and
yeah,
And needles.
To
There's
get
so
to the
many
beach?
needles.
it's really well known because it has the sand is like uniquely white, like it's like alabaster white.
It just
And
burns
it's-
your face.
It's Everything burns your face.
Well, it doesn't matter. But
it's like nearly 100% pure quartz crystal, and it's powder fine, like talc powder fine. It's a weird sand. It's not anything like the sand anywhere else in Sarasota County or anywhere that I'm aware of. But it's a beautiful beach. And then Venice is like this tiny little beach town. There's not a lot of crime. It's heavily elderly. I think it's like the average age is like 76 or something. Yeah, seriously, it's a retirement area for sure.
So slow.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah, there's a lot of, and then we have a season here where the snowbirds come back in the winter.
It's kind of like migratory duck season.
Migratory duck season, basically.
I love that.
And they just like trying to avoid snow though, because water shouldn't freeze naturally. Everybody from Florida knows that.
It's one of the things I do not miss about the North is dealing with snow.
I love the snow.
I like snow, but I don't
run
like
hot.
shoveling the
This is like
snow. I
hell
don't
for
like
me
driving
every day.
through the snow.
Like it's
I
terrible.
like
down here.
snowmen,
Yeah.
catching them on my tongue.
Catching snowman on your tongue.
Oh,
Walk right into that one.
head face right into that
Yep.
snowman.
Oh, I'm so glad Jeannie's here.
I'll be back next month.
It's a beautiful county. All the cities in it are pretty cool. They're all kind of quirky and unique. Just I love that. There's like Venice. You don't have to worry about like. I like never lock my car doors or anything. It's just shouldn't say it. But,
Duly noted.
out loud.
Got that.
But no, it's
All
it's
my
like,
shit is.
I
always
never lock
unlocked.
my car doors. My PIN number is yada, yada, yada. The last four of my social. I'm very comfortable here.
But it's just a really safe area that we do like a
Is it a
Christmas
safe
parade every
space
year.
for you?
Yeah, do like a Christmas parade every year, and there's like
with the boats.
they do. That's the boat
boat
parade, but they do a Christmas parade at the very end of November, actually, which is weird. But like there'll be floats with like Jesus on it, and like nobody's throwing rotten fruit or yelling or lighting dumpsters on fire and stuff. So it's not like much of the rest of the country at this point.
Are you going to tell them about the chairs? Because that is
the
the
chairs.
coolest. That is like
Yeah.
the coolest thing.
Since I was a kid and before that, and even now, people start putting their folding chairs out about 2 weeks before the parade. And some of them will even put like stakes in the ground and tie it off. But most people just lay their chairs where they want to sit. And 2 weeks later, when you show up for the parade, your chairs will be where you put them.
Really? Because I've been picking them chairs up for like a week now. Like they're out next to the curb. Why can't I have these chairs? That's how it works down here.
Yeah. It's
that is kind of true though. If you put things too close to the curb, they disappear in a heartbeat.
oh yeah, absolutely.
real fast.
an
Except for
invite.
Like those
except
chairs.
except for the chairs.
It's actually very convenient. I have always loved scrappers because you don't have to do anything with it. You just put it at the edge of the street and walk away, and it's gone. Like an hour. You'll walk back in an hour, and you're like, man, I never see these guys like looping around my neighborhood. They must be like constantly out.
He sets it down, and then when he gets to like the end of the driveway by the garage, closes his eyes, turns, and they're gone. You know, and he's like, they're quick as lightning, just like that. You're like, you'll never see them, but you'll smell the nasty exhaust that it left from its like little fucking Ford Ranger.
Yeah,
You'll just hear something that you know is rusty. You drive away.
they're like gnomes. You know,
Mine will come at night.
sneak up and steal stuff.
Like I'll put stuff out in the day, like early in the morning, and mine only come at night. And I'm like, what is it after dark that makes these people come out?
They're like warlocks, you know, or Morlocks, right?
Morlocks.
Yeah, it was the Morlocks.
They hated the sunlight, like they just dwell in the darkness. I get it.
Oh, we're getting a little off. Okay.
Just a little off.
Morlocks.
Well, what is one of the largest obstacles that you've had to deal with starting your business and getting going? It doesn't have to be all of them, and we know that most of it's going to be government. But
Yeah.
I thought I was going to say
but
employees.
something that sticks out in your mind as being something I overcame that, and that was hard for me to do, but I did it.
Yeah, I would say growing the company, because what happens is it's kind of like a little cycle where I start out and I have nothing, and then I start getting some work, and then I get busy, and then I get so busy that I can't do it all myself, and I have to hire somebody. And then finding somebody who is capable, competent, is hard to do. So I kind of came up with a scheme of hiring veterans that I served with, and all guys who had decided to get out of the military and not pursue like a 20-year career. And that was my way of overcoming it. Was I have guys that I trust with my trucks, with my equipment, with all, with
Access to your home.
access to my home, credit cards, all sorts of stuff. So, and then guys that I can trust and put into people's homes without any reservations.
You got to make reservations to get in these people's places.
I've got to use smaller words for Trini. So
I ain't got to be smaller, just not so damn fancy.
or words that I've only used for one possible meaning, like a nice restaurant.
Shoney's.
Shoney's. So good.
I love Shoney's. They're delicious.
What's going on?
God,
Gonna check on you.
Oh, hey.
we're good, bud. Thanks. We're getting too rowdy in here. We got to take it down a notch.
Yeah, that was his polite way of being like, take it down about 30%.
You guys are getting a little rowdy in there. I'm gonna tone it down.
Yeah. So yeah, that was probably the actual hardest hurdle that wasn't, just government regulation. And
There they are.
Anyway, so your growth was your biggest obstacle, and what about your presence? You belong to any kind of like business groups, like the chamber. You have a website.
Any cabals?
Yeah, evil cabals.
we meet late at night in robes.
Freemasons.
So yeah,
He's Catholic.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't be a Mason.
So it's the Illuminati then.
It's the Illuminati or bust.
It's just the Vatican.
Yeah.
So Suppa, Jay-Z, Beyonce.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in that order.
When that was actually the best advice I got was from my dad. He said, because my dad had owned a pest control business most of my life. And he said, join the chamber, spend the money, join the chamber. I had no money, like nothing. And it was like, I think it was like $500 to join the chamber. And I really didn't want to spend that money. And, but I joined the chamber, and I started going to every event that I could that was free. And started networking, meeting people. I started going to networking meetings throughout the week that weren't chamber related. And then I got some really solid connections from those, and it was absolutely the best thing I did for my business. And then 2 years in, year and a half in, I had a couple of friends who were in a chapter of BNI, which is the largest networking group in the world. It's all over the world. And a member of Money in the Morning, BNI meeting in Venice. Been in it now for, what would it be? Gosh, it's got to be like 5 years now. And it's a really great networking group because it's focused. Whereas a lot of times you go to like the chamber, you'll go to a lot of networking groups, and there'll be multiple plumbers there, multiple tradespeople, multiple people of whatever it is you do. Also, it's like people are like, hey, do you do any irrigation stuff? And you're like, no, I don't, so people are constantly trying to give you referrals for things you don't even do or certainly don't want to do. Whereas BNI, you ask for very specific things, like things that you actually want to be doing, and then the people in that group do what they can to get you that work, the work that you're actually wanting to do. You can even tell people like, this is what I don't want to do, you know, and they're pretty good about respecting that and giving you referrals, solid referrals that are for the work that you're looking for. So it's a really, it's like a scalpel instead of a hammer, you know. And I get a lot of referrals throughout the year from it. It's a very impressive organization, how they run everything. It's a very tight ship. You only get like 3 absences and then you're gone. You're like kicked out of the group forever. So it's pretty intense. You got to be there. You can't miss any meetings. You can't be late. They hold you to account. And so what it does is it tends to keep people in that are serious about their business. So you can trust everybody in there to refer them to other people. And you build really like lasting relationships with these people because you see them every week. It's not most networking groups, you know, you could show up, you don't show up, whatever. It's not a big deal. There's no accountability for how referrals are tracked. With BNI, they track your referrals. They track your thank you for close of business. After the referrals have come to fruition, you've been paid. So it's a lot of work being in a BNI chapter, but I personally feel it's worth it. It more than pays for itself.
And they have breakfast.
And yeah, ours does. I guess it depends. Every meeting is different. Some of them meet, you know, midday.
No, they all have breakfast.
They do. I've been to another one.
Yeah. And the breakfast, we've been at a lot of different locations, and some breakfasts are better than others.
We've eaten breakfasts all over the place. That's really what we do.
Yeah, where we're at now,
we couldn't call it the Breakfast Club because it was already taken.
Yeah.
They made a movie about it and everything.
It's copyrighted. They take it seriously. But no, the place we're at now, the breakfast is solid. There's always bacon. So, you know, it's good.
Except on the day there's sausage.
Did you get sausage? Oh,
You were there for sausage
You
day?
are the least lucky person I know.
I have a question.
It's just sausage and grits.
Do you also get a coin and a sponsor with this group?
No.
Oh, I was way off.
This is a different group.
Okay.
All they had was coffee there and saltine crackers.
So I picked up a white chip, had a mug of Folgers, and I talked about my feelings for a while.
Yep.
You know what? I think I might go back.
Yeah.
Tried it at the BNI group. They didn't take to it very well.
He goes, it wasn't until the third person had gone I realized I was at the wrong thing. But my name's Mark, and I work for Aqua Duck Plumbing, and we offer services, not like you do. But
All right, we got one more question. What are your goals? What's your end game?
World domination in a giant robot.
that was mine. I was gonna say.
Now I got to make up a new one.
See, we all had.
I mean, I don't
See,
want
that's
world
why-
domination if it doesn't
that's-
involve a
I want
giant
Optimus
robot.
Prime.
That's why I let you go first.
Yeah, like a mech, you know?
Mecha Suppa.
I can see it now. It's
Yeah.
glorious.
Just shoots meatballs.
Fighting kaiju.
Marinara meatballs.
He's got a giant spaghetti whip.
Yep. I can see it.
I thought he just looked like The Rock from Moana, that character. Really?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I guess just continue on the way we are. Hopefully grow. Just hired a secretary, Mark's wife. She's doing a good job so far. Trying to get rid of this damn phone. I have 2 phones now. One phone is 2 phones too many.
We call him Tony Two Phones.
Tony two phones.
Tony 2 phones.
He'll answer you day or night.
I will not answer you.
I know he
them with
never
like-
He
answers.
just ignores twice as hard now.
For some reason, I just feel you would have like those bicep phone holders.
No, I have never been
walk
a bicep
around like
phone
that.
holder guy.
Hold on, let me get my
part
phone.
of that is because I only buy gigantic phones that you could beat a man to death with, and none of them will fit. In those
No, they just make his biceps look a little too small.
Can't have
So he's
that.
like, no.
Nope. I only stand next to small people. That's why I only have daughters. It's to make me look bigger.
He's like, that's why I only carry a pager.
That might be his end game.
My end game.
My goal is to just have a pager, and it just never does anything. It's just there, and I wear it.
Turns out it's just one of those stepometers.
On a deserted island with no tower. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to keep growing. Right now I have 4 full-time technicians, all of which are veterans, and all of the employees that I've hired before this. I've had 3 other employees as well. They were all veterans as well, and if I can keep it that way, I will. It may come to a point where we start losing all of our connections in the military to hire young troops that don't want to re-enlist, but I don't want to think about that day. But yeah, I think the goal is to continue to put more trucks on the road and grow the company, and provide for the family and have a job for vets, and I think that's the goal.
Well, that's awesome, man.